live pregame show, views and dues, baby. We are here. We got the whole crew is back together again. We got M drop the J. Fadeaway's perfect. We got Scout Extraordinaire, Vic Jr. We got football guru himself, Mr. So True. And then we got Shefty, Mr. Lab Views himself. He will be here shortly. With that being said, fellas, how we feeling? The second week of the NFL season. Week 1 did not disappoint. We had great games. We had so much good energy. How we feeling, fellas? I'm gonna start with you, MJ.
I want some money, so I'm good. Like, yo, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. The NFL right now is gonna be nothing more than an ATM for me. So, with the blessings and the good lab work of the good folks of Views from 22, I'm going to continue to keep lining my pockets with these dead presidents. I like to call them fun coupons, so I can buy more black ties and go to more fundraisers with my wife. I really got Republican energy on the level right now. I got Republican energy right now.
That's the right energy. That's the right energy.
I'm about to get into the halves a little bit, man.
Hey, when the tax bracket change,
I won't forget about y'all.
When the tax bracket change, so does the color of your change. Uh-oh. That's a bar. That's levels to that.
See how we started already?
Hopefully the views don't drop now.
No, you already know, man. I have no political connection to nobody. I don't even care about it.
No, for real.
Now, with that being said, Vic, man, how you doing, bro? How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, man. What's going on? Listen, I got to jump in that game with MJ and Jorge. Shout out to Jorge. He make some bread this week too, right? I heard he made a chunky check. But week 1 was crazy. Even the Thursday night game wasn't too bad. We got into a little
absolutely.
We got into a little, another little debate there in the group. AKA Saquon Barkley, starting those things off again. But we could talk about it. We could go to the lab about it soon. But just looking forward to week 2, man. Week 2, the rest of this it should be fun.
And then we got Mr. Schefter himself,
yes, sir.
Just sliding in the building, all nice and proper. What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
Man, listen, I feel fantastic this morning. To Vic's point, I've been a little busy, for lack of better terms, and so with that, I've been a little out the loop on some of the social media street stuff. But it's been a little bit of a blessing because I haven't heard one narrative all week. I've been minding my business and watching film. So I don't know what people are saying. I don't care what people are saying. All I know is week 1 was fun. Week 1, we saw some things that makes us look forward to today big time. The Thursday night game, hey, man, MJ, Vic, Germ, we always talk about this, and Big Shot was part of this conversation as well. Thursday nights are just it's not meant for necessarily quality lab football. It's gonna be entertaining. And it's going to be like, man, these dudes really shouldn't be playing. But today, we got some games to talk about. We got some big games to talk about. And it's only week 2, but we got some big games to talk about. Because there's some of these teams are going to go 0-2 today, and they can't afford it. Some of these teams are going to go 0-2 today, and it's no time to panic. To each their own. Everybody's a case-by-case basis, and we're going to break it down for them today, Mr. Germ So True.
Hey, and with everything being said, before I do that, shout out real quick in the comments to everybody in the comments. Good morning, April. Good morning, Category 5. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Ronnie. Shouts out to my homeboy from back in the day, Mr. Craig Jensen. Congratulations, my good brother. I'm happy for you and your wife and everything like that, bro. And just wanted to show you a little love on camera because you're my guy and I can do that. So with that being said, MJ, go ahead and get your question out, and then we're going to get this thing going.
Oh, no, it ain't a question, man. We getting right in the bag right now on the spot. Time is money and money is time.
Let's
go.
So
what I need you to do is share that screen on Monkey Knife Fights because this is brought to you by Monkey Knife Fights. If you have not joined it, why are you waiting? What the hell are you waiting on? We already got the code for you. You put in the scene, and he will give you what you need. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And what we're going to do is on the spot, we're going to do a more or less in front of you so you can see how you work Monkey Knife Fights and see how you can get this paper. So as my
One
guy
sec.
Germ is working it, we're going to go ahead and give you a little bit of advice on how to do this. Here is my disclaimer before I go anywhere. I don't start cooking until after around week 4. Here's the reason, because me and the good folks of Views from 22 finally get enough lab work to know what sequences is going, what schemes is working, who goes good with where, who goes good with what. The more information that we're able to get from the lab, the higher percentage we have of winning. So as of right now, first 4 weeks, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I'm literally just gambling. So luckily, I won. So let's see if I can win this week. And we're going to also talk to John. We're going to talk to Vic. We're going to talk to the great Mo Schefter. And we're going to see what life is like. So the gamble of the week for Monkey Knife Fights. So I'll go back to that 500K. We're trying to get them paid. The gamble of the week. Can you pick 10 in a row, more or less? This is the gamble of the week. So let's go for it. I'll go pass it to everybody around. We're going to go one by one. Matthew Stafford, more or less. I got Matthew Stafford and more.
More.
I'll go with more with you. I'll go with more with that.
Okay. Josh Allen, more or less. I got him in. I'm going to just say it like this. I got everybody at more because I'm going to root for an NFL player to do his job and do it well so he could get paid. So I got everybody at more, whether it makes sense or not. This is the energy that I'm at. I'm just put everybody at more. So y'all can see who is less. Y'all tell me who y'all think is possibly a less situation.
The only person I'm gonna point out 2 people. I'm gonna point out Darren Waller because I don't like the matchup, not because of him, because of Derek Carr. Even though he's gonna get the targets, that's a bad one now that I think out loud. Let's go with Baker Mayfield.
Mo,
Baker
why are we so much alike, dude? Okay, so look. So MJ got to see this firsthand, and he got to see the lab work on this. Baker only has thrown for more than that total right there 5 times last year. And in 3 of those 5, they were 3-2 in them games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. The thing about it is, Chubb is the most important part of their success when it comes down to it in that running attack. So if he gets 250 and they run for 250, that's 500 yards of offense, and you're going to walk away and win most Sundays. So if he's throwing for 269 plus, that to me means they're probably going to lose, or it's the tighter game than what we want it to be.
And the reason why I picked more for this one, mainly because this is the weirdest time in the NFL. This time between week 1 through 4 and between weeks 12 through 14. Those are just weird times to bet because just a lot of funky things are going on. Like with Houston, are they for real? Or could it just been they just had a good matchup? We don't know. I do know that Tyrod Taylor looked pretty solid and the defense looked pretty solid. So if that is the case, if they are for real, Cleveland is going to have to score. And also, the 269.5 yards, I picked Lamar on, not because I think he's going to throw it to receivers, because I think he's going to throw it to backs. He has 2 backs that can catch and make plays without him having to go further with it. So 2 screen passes to Nick Chubb, a couple of end routes to Kareem Hunt, hit your tight end a few times, hit Jarvis Landry like 7 times, it could get to 269.
Well, I mean, again, to your point, MJ, like 270 yards passing in today's league is not a feat, so to say, unless you're Lamar Jackson. Right. But we want to stay on good energy. But to Germ's point, it doesn't happen much with Baker. And this is a game against Houston where Houston last year, that run defense was non-existent, okay? I really feel like the Broncos are going to come out with let's just send these guys home, okay? We shouldn't even have to be wasting our time playing 0-1 versus these folks, and they're 1-0. So what I'm expecting to see from Cleveland today is the Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt train. Not. You are absolutely right with the checkdowns and the curls and the hitches and the RPOs and the you name it. But I just feel like this is one of those games where the less your defense is out there, the better for Cleveland. The less your offense is out there, the better for Cleveland. We don't need a bunch of possessions today. We need 5 possessions a half
5
And-
quality possessions a half.
and like being exactly like the way Jameis last week had like 2 15-play drives in the first half. That's what we need from Cleveland, because this is one of those games where you just want to get out of there and you want to get out there dominating. So I'll go more with the Nick Chubb for that reason, and I'll go less with the Baker, not necessarily as a critique, but more as a compliment to how dominant I feel this run game can be today.
Absolutely.
like
See, and
I
that's
like
and we're on the same wavelength with that. And why I want to say wavelength with you with Waller as well. I just feel like between Devin Bush and Minka Fitzpatrick, I feel like forcing targets to Waller with that team, it's
Mhm.
not the same as doing it with the Ravens.
Absolutely not.
And then
Absolutely not.
I think that with Joe Schobert, like we talked about last week, with him having a nose for the football, I think that's going to be another interesting part of this. So it's easy to say more or less with Darren Waller for me. For Big Ben, in my opinion, I want to say less. And I'm going to tell you why I say less. I think that Pittsburgh is better suited to run the ball right now. And I think that Najee Harris is the most important player for that particular team right now as they continue to move forward. And he will be the most important player for that offense as we get to January moving forward. So I think that's a pretty easy one too. Ben doesn't have to throw for more than 250, 265 every week, as long as they can run for 80 to 125 yards with their complement of backs, and then they just play good defense and good special teams. If they do those two things, Ben doesn't have to do 275 plus. So I think that that's another point of emphasis here as well. There, as far as Damian Harris to me is over. I think the Jets' run defense is something that can be gotten. At the end of the day, 79 rushing yards is not out of the question because of the quarterback. They have a quarterback that will check into a run play and take them out of a pass play with Mac Jones because he has that capability to do so. So those are other things too that I think there. As far as Diggs and Josh Allen as a combination, I think you're gonna have to have Diggs is gonna have to have 11 catches today to get his 100 yards because he has a pretty good secondary that he's going up against. But I think if anybody can do it, it's Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Now I'm gonna go to the most interesting one on here, and it's really Joe Burrow. Cincinnati's whole formula of success should be Mixon, then Burrow. It shouldn't be Burrow, then Mixon. Why do I say that? Because Chicago is still a very, very physical front seven. And if he gets to hearing voices like Randy Orton, because Khalil Mack is coming around that corner consistently, that's not a recipe for success anyway for them. So we need to run the ball, set up the play action in order for him to get the more. But the one thing we got going for us here is Chicago's corners, as I said last week, are horrid.
Yeah. I'm going to say this about Josh Allen, and maybe we got to mute Vic's mic after this.
And I was waiting to jump in on that, but you guys go ahead.
Go ahead.
Vic, give us some feedback, man. We just giving information to y'all right now. We're not telling you who to pick or who to gamble. We just giving you information, y'all. That's it.
That was the two guys I was going to talk about. I think with Josh Allen is going to be an interesting matchup. I got a few numbers here in terms of his pass yards. So back in 2019, all right, just before he kind of improved, he had 202 yards and 256 yards against Miami. If I'm not mistaken, both cornerbacks were healthy that season. Last season, when he got better, he had 415 on the first game. That was week 2. If I'm not mistaken, one of the cornerbacks was injured, and then he had 224 for the last game. Now, that could have been a little bit of just them getting ready for the playoffs because it was the last game of the season. But if I see 295 here, I'm going to go less for Josh Allen simply because I think that the Miami secondary healthy and strong. But with Diggs, I think he could get more than 85. So basically, I think that Josh will be around 280, but Diggs will be able to get most of that yardage because I think the Miami secondary can give the rest of those receivers a lot of issues, even with Diggs and containing Diggs at around 90 yards, I think it's a good game for Miami. So I would go less with Josh and a little bit more with Diggs.
And okay, what about Burrow? Because I was gonna tie in Germ's point about Burrow with Josh Allen. That's why I started with Josh Allen. But what about Burrow?
With Burrow, can you scroll down and see what the number they had there for him? That's a tough one.
270 is tough,
Yeah.
but you know what that means? That means we need at least a 50-yard completion, and we probably are gonna at least need let's look at last week real quick, fellas.
Right.
Last week he had a 50-yard completion. Last week he threw for 269 or so.
He
and
threw
he
for
did that in overtime.
He threw for 264, and I noticed because he was 6 yards away from me covering my other bet. Because if he would have just got 270, I would have got even more money. Thanks, Joe.
So with that being said, he did that against a Vikings secondary that I think was a little bit better than this secondary.
Yeah.
So I think overall, it's just the front seven issues that I have in this situation.
Right. Because they did sack him, if I'm not mistaken, 5 times.
Right.
So, this one is a tough one. I don't know. Go ahead, Mo. If you got
okay. So here's what I got to say on the situation. Right. Germ said that with Joe Burrow, it's got to be mixed. Right.
Yes.
We said the same thing about Baker Mayfield. We didn't necessarily say that about Josh Allen, but that's more because Josh Allen doesn't really have anybody like a Joe Mixon or a Nick Chubb. But here's my thing. 100%. Here's my thing about it. Even though they got to go to offensive line in Buffalo, here's my thing about it. My mistake with Josh Allen was I broke my rule. My rule being is an exception to every rule. I took an oath I wouldn't fall in love with an athletic, big-armed quarterback. Josh was a lot more than that. You know what I mean? But that's all. Again, I broke my own rule, and that's my mistake. And the lab has made me pay. That's just what it is. But with Josh, he has been forced to carry this team through improvisation, through checkdowns, and finding guys, and throwing the ball and launching the ball. Yeah. So the 295 for Josh is not out of the question because he's going to throw the ball by design or by force 42 times a game, over under, maybe anywhere between 35 to 40, let's just say. Whereas with
35 to 42 is fair.
Okay, so now
can we pay Devin Singletary like an offensive tackle?
Dog.
No.
I mean, the problem with Devin Singletary is here's the problem ultimately with Devin Singletary. He's inconsistent. He's inconsistent, but the problem also is Buffalo is one of those teams that's weird to me, and I don't know if the fellas will agree with this. I don't understand why they don't use Devin Singletary more in the screen game.
I don't either.
Right. And that was gonna be my next point, is that they need to start utilizing in the screen game more because they need to take pressure off the quarterback. No, you're good. We call that a transition because you need to get the quarterback. You need to take some pressure off that quarterback. Whereas for Joe's got a bad matchup today, man. Yes, that secondary is horrid, but that secondary is not going to, that defense in general is not going to line up in a cover one man and say, come on and beat us, because they're going to get beat. That defense is going to they're going to move around. They're going to shift guys. They're going to stunt guys. They're going to rotate coverages after snap. They're going to do and maybe I'm kind of like giving a prelude as to who I'm going to pick. Maybe, you never know. Stick around. You're going to find out. But I think Joe is in for a really tough matchup today. So the 270 on a normal day is a lot more attainable for for Joe than it is for Baker. But today, it's one of those things with Joe where it's like, man, it's not about completing the 50-yarder. It's about consistently completing 7 to 12-yard passes against a defense that's going to show everything to a young quarterback. Joe's going to be fantastic. Just like I think Trevor Lawrence last week, and we'll get to that, played an outstanding game for a rookie quarterback. I honestly do. But I think for Joe, we're going to see how he's still got some evolving to do to his game. And I think the Bears could very much, give him a hard time. I think they're going to give him a hard time. I think he can play a fairly well game, but I think they're going to give him a hard time. And 270 is only going to get there if they're in the fourth quarter. He's got to be throwing the ball to catch up. That's the only way I can really see the 270 get in there. But if it's like a tight 10-7, 13-7, 13-16 type of ball game, it's going to be really hard for me to see Joe Burrow go over that 270 mark today.
Fair.
So with that being said, Cooper Kupp, I think 79, 80 yards is a day at the office for Cooper.
Yeah.
It looked like him and Stafford had a good chemistry last week.
No, I think he's closer to 100 for this game.
And here's something interesting too about this. Last week, and I'm going to say this to you guys now, and I don't. This is not hatred toward Matthew Stafford.
No,
there was a lot of big plays last week that will not be there every week. So I look forward to seeing how this Rams team looks next week.
Who they play next week? The Bucs?
Yes.
I will say this about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is kind of showing people how a quarterback that we looked at as average or even mediocre at best could look if you give him an offensive line and you give him weapons that can get open. Most of these quarterbacks, I mean, obviously everybody ain't gonna be Tom Brady, right? Everybody is not going, or everybody's not gonna have the gifts and the improvising ability as a Russell Wilson or a Pat Mahomes. Everybody's not gonna have that. But for the most part, if you give most of these quarterbacks time, you give them the weapons of people who can get open and they build the relationship, they're gonna do what they're supposed to do. And we're exposing that with Matthew Stafford in Detroit. He just, with his style of play, he just did not have the time to do what he does. Now, on the flip side, Jared Goff didn't look that bad because Jared Goff is the check down king.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't need a long offensive line because he's getting rid of that mother.
Right. And Jared Goff has a long release. Jared Goff struggles with certain throws. Jared Goff is not actually the best quarterback in the pocket. Okay, maybe he can run faster than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady is 1,000 times quicker than Jared Goff in the pocket. Am I wrong, Vic?
No, of course not.
I appreciate you. So here's my thing on this, right? 77.5 yards for Cooper Kupp, over. Whatever they got on Matthew Stafford, over. Whatever they got on Robert Woods, over. The lock of the week for me, like by far, the fact that the Indianapolis Colts are only getting 4 points, like the fact that the Rams are a 4-point favorite only makes this the easiest bet of the week for me. You know how I feel about Wentz. You know I love that Indy team. You know that Indy team can control the line of scrimmage against just about anybody. But we're going to keep that Ram, as Big Shot told y'all, okay, after September, we making no more stops on this Rams train. The Rams, for me, I know we're talking about fantasy and individual players, but fantasy and betting go hand in hand. The Rams, to me, are the lock of the week this week. I'm taking them to cover everything. Can you pick on teams? Can you pick on games?
On this, no.
Okay.
Y'all can take that.
So here's what you can do. I'm just showing what you can do.
Yeah,
Basically, this is some of the players in the game. You can bet on the game.
6-6-2. Okay.
And to give you 4 Ram players to bet on. I think that's a solid one.
I like this one. Are the punters involved in this?
Nah.
Oh man,
that's funny.
Yo,
that is funny. Hey, I will bet on Blankenship though. I'm betting on Blankenship every time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Blankenship was in one of my IT classes.
Are you being serious?
No,
man, he is. Man, dude, what?
Hey, man, you never know. MJ has said weirder things that have been true.
Here's an interesting one tonight.
I didn't tell y'all my Dragonfly story. I'm gonna leave that later.
Oh, Pat about to have more than that.
I'll be honest with you. I'm staying away from that.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
I'm not
like, yeah, keep that moving.
Yo.
Why we gotta keep it moving? Why can't we?
I know, right?
I'm not picking. They got certain people I don't bet on or for or against. I don't bet.
Dang, they got all Chiefs players up here. This don't make no sense.
I mean, they did the same thing with the Rams against the Colts, though. They had 4 Rams players and 2 Colts.
So you click on
so-
click on each game and it'll give you like the players that you
The only one that I would if somebody said, yo, you gotta make a bet on a player from every game. So let's just do that. Let's for conversation's sake. If I had to bet on any of these folks, it would probably be Travis Kelce, and I'll take the over. I'll take more. Just because I think I know, but I think if they dominate, he's going to dominate, and I think if they struggle, Pat's going to go to him a lot as a safety blanket. So I'll take the more and less for that. Just
Mo, we talked about this already. We talked about this.
I ain't touching nobody else. Clyde was Hilaire. I don't know. Tyreek Hill. Who knows? Marquise Brown. Is Lamar Jackson going to have more than 7 pass attempts? I don't know. So I'm staying away, Chief.
This is week 2 vibes. That's what I said. Between week 1 and week 4, you are gambling with us. We don't know.
We don't know. We just don't know.
Don't put your house up between week 1 and 4. Don't put your house up.
Nope.
Don't put your keys up. Don't put your tricycle up. Just throw that extra $10 or $20 you got if you're feeling lucky, and we'll see what happens.
If you pick up an overtime shift, use a couple of those hours. That's it. Nothing major.
Right. Don't miss a bill for us, please.
No. Now wait till October, November.
Collections messing with us in week 1 through 4.
Oh man.
This is the week that I would tell you I may go AJ Brown because the Titans play the Seahawks this week. So give me AJ Brown, and then who do the Chargers play the Oh my God!
Chargers
Give
play
me
the Cowboys,
Austin Eckler.
bro.
Give me Eckler and
give me
Eckler, AJ Brown.
Yeah,
Give me
Chargers play the
Eckler.
Cowboys,
Give me AJ Brown and give me Eckler because AJ Brown is the one of the receivers that can catch. The other one can't.
Now, what I will say this too, I'm glad you mentioned this game because this was actually my game to bet on for the week. Cowboys versus the Chargers.
Okay.
I only have one word to say for this bet. Over.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of points that's about to be scored on this. Over.
Yeah.
Like over everything. Like whatever you got is over. Just take all of it. CD Lamb 100 yards, over. Amari Cooper 100 yards, sure. Over. Zeke
Only one
I'm not taking.
Yards, sure. I'm not taking over on Michael Gallup.
He's not playing.
He don't. Man,
he's
I'm
out.
talking about the people.
Jaron, pull up that game.
He's out.
He's out. Night fight.
1 second there.
Yeah. First off, Gallup is probably not going to even be on there. Like, no offense to Gallup.
He's out. He's out for a couple games.
So if you take the over on an injured player, you deserve.
But I wasn't wrong. But I wasn't wrong when I said he won't be getting
over. If you take
over.
the over on an injured player, you deserve to lose. Like, what are we doing?
Just letting y'all know. So we got, oh man.
That all we have?
314. No, we got a bunch of stuff.
Oh. Okay, here we go.
Ooh.
What is this?
Yeah, it's confusing.
Oh, who's gonna have more?
Yeah.
Yep, and he gets a bonus.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
I need this. Really cool. Yeah, we need to jump in this website more.
That's really cool. I'll tell you this. I don't know.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
I like these two because I think he's gonna get baby digs on him, and they're gonna force somebody else they're gonna force somebody else in that process. I think Amari will get a lot more free reign because of who he has with him. CeeDee Lamb may be a better receiver on any given Sunday than Amari Cooper, and that's a scary thought. Consider how good Amari Cooper is. So if I'm getting a receiving advantage, a bonus 0.5 here, I may take the bonus 0.5 in this situation, considering who he are, what posse he has with him, opposed to what posse he has with him. And then also with Herbert, last week he made 4 third down throws to ice the game. 4 in a row. We're not talking about no play. He not play pimping. This is real pimping we talking about.
He want his money.
So I would actually take that because I don't think Dak throws for 400 this week. I think they give the ball to Zeke more, and that comes down to about 285, 305 range, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dak throws for another 400, and it's not because of Dak, it's because of his head coach, Mike McCarthy. When Mike McCarthy coaches, he wants his guys throwing 45 times. I don't understand it, but that's how he coaches. He just let her rip. Even though you got Ezekiel Elliott, who has shown people time and time again, with the exception of last year, that he is a 3-down back, and you can control the clock if you want to. He just has no interest in giving the ball to his running backs.
Real quick, y'all. Here.
So what's this right here?
This is touchdown dance. So
how many do we need?
Dance, so what you would do is, so if the goal is 1.5 touchdowns, you get 2 times the prize, and you just basically pick the players you think that are going to score touchdowns.
Okay. Do we have to put money down on this bet?
Yes,
of course. All of these bets we got to put money down.
Making sure.
But
it's week 2, so I'm gonna follow the rules. Let's not bet the house. Go to the 1.5. And we said how many touchdowns we need? 6 or 3.5. Go to 3.5.
Yeah,
we can find 3.5 touchdowns. We can find 3.5 touchdowns between all of these players.
Yeah, so total.
Let's pick the easy ones, and then we'll fight over the third one.
All right. So are we gonna just go ahead and say that Amari Cooper is one of the easy ones?
Yes.
So you would put Amari here.
Ooh, that's tough, guys.
It is.
CD too. Shit.
I mean, but that's not an easy pick. Like between CD and Amari,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Between these two, those two alone, those two alone should be able to cover our bet. The third person should be the person that we should be getting. That should be the person that exceeds expectations.
Eckler or Keenan.
I actually am going to say Mike Williams.
Jared Cook.
That's interesting.
I like Jared Cook and Mike Williams too.
Because Mike Williams could be Mike Williams can end up with 5 catches for 80 yards and 3 touchdowns.
But dude, Keenan Allen is 7'11".
Yeah, I'm surprised. You know what?
See him open.
Can I get in? Can I get in?
Of course.
If you don't mind. Because Jerm moving a little too fast for me today. Slow down, Jerm. I know you're excited.
Hey,
slow down.
That's the first time I ever heard a New Yorker say too fast.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
No, here's the thing. So Baby Diggs, excellent cornerback. He went up against Mike Evans last week. And I think, with Diggs, he's a very physical corner. So that matchup with a physical receiver is kind of something that is along the lines of his comfort. Keenan Allen is probably going to be the best route running receiver he's ever seen in his career so far. So that, along with the fact that they don't move Mike Evans around because they don't have to in Tampa Bay, Keenan Allen will be all over the field. So Diggs is not going to be on him. Plus, it's going to be hard to double cover Keenan. So I see a big game for Keenan and Mike Williams.
See, my two is going to be Keenan and Cooper, not Cooper and Zeke. Okay. My 3. So let's just everybody's gonna have a different 3, and that's cool. That's not what. Yeah, I'm gonna go Keenan, Coop, and Cook. Those are my 3. I think Jared Cook is gonna catch 2 touchdowns today. That's my prediction for this game.
And they're moving on
2 touchdowns.
There's some breaking news too early this morning. They're moving Micah Parsons to defensive end, more snaps at defensive end. Because of the DeMarcus Lawrence injury.
I don't mind that.
No, of course. So Jared Cook,
right?
So Jared Cook will be, he'll have his matchups against the safeties and Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. So
and Keanu Neal.
Right. So I mean, he can either give them some issues or they can, it can be back and forth.
I love how Keanu Neal went to Dallas. They said, "Hey, you're number 45." Now he's a linebacker.
Yep.
But we're not going to talk about that because he's a football player.
The thing is, they gave up a lot of points again with Gronk last week. So, but that's Brady and Gronk. So, you got to kind of.
No doubt about it. But I just think Jared is going. I think he's going to find the end zone twice this week.
Oh yeah, but as you can see, it's plenty to pick from.
Yeah,
in that game,
this is
because there's just so much talent on both ends of the ball, and the style of play that Dallas plays you're going to have to score points with them, whether you want to or not. And the Chargers can score with people. So
the Cowboys have to get Zeke more than 65, but that doesn't answer this question here. So,
yeah, I think if I had to pick one, I'd go Cooper over 6.5.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
So with this being said, I mean, then we got this game of obviously. This is definitely something that I want everybody in over there in the comment section. Check it out. Monkey Knife Fights. If you use the promo code The Scene, you will be able to. They will match you up to $100 on your buy-in using the promo code The Scene. Make sure you guys do that. When you guys do that, it shows them that, hey, these folks talking about us. We need y'all to do that for us. We appreciate y'all.
So is that The Scene together, obviously?
Yep.
Okay.
All caps.
let's go ahead and spell it for you. THESCEN. We matching your money, which means if we're matching your money, if you put $100 up, you will have an additional $100 to bet with, which will give you $200 to bet with.
Nice. Is that the limit?
The limit to get your money matched is $100. Yes.
Okay.
If you put 1,000 up, then they will still match your 100, assuming. But that other
they'll still match up to $100.
Yeah,
up to 100. Okay.
So just do the right thing and just get the maximum that you could put in starting off. And then if you want to put $1,000 to go wild with it, because by week 5, week 6, I think we'll have our rhythm. Go for it.
I mean, all it takes, a dollar might turn into $1 million, then we all rich. That's just how I feel. So now we get to the fun. We get to pick'ems. Last week was a very interesting week. Who y'all think won pick'ems last week?
Oh yeah, I'm a germ. That's why I
didn't lose. I ain't winning.
I did not keep track in week 1. Who do you think won? I think you won.
I did.
Yeah.
This guy. Let me.
What's funny?
Parts, man. Put me in on this.
Hey, that's
of course,
okay. Hey,
of course.
That's okay.
Hey, look, no. Look. Chef won last year. Chef has actually won every year since Views has been existing. So there is no way he is winning another year.
Listen, man, why you had to bring it up, dog? It's like a no-hitter. You don't talk about it.
He the people.
God damn.
But me and Chef had a really, really good time last year.
Oh, yeah.
Pick'ems. We were like within 1 or 2 games of each other.
It was very close. Close.
Hell, this week, the Tennessee game, Tennessee, Arizona, me picking Arizona was a big one. And then you picking Carolina was a big one. But, bro, when you pick Washington, I think that's what took your week.
I picked Washington and Green Bay.
Yep, and New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we all dropped the ball on the Vikings, the Atlanta, Jacksonville, Cleveland, New England.
It's the first week. Hey, don't beat yourself up. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. Every season is a new season. You don't know what's going to happen.
Nope. Like MJ, you in on this?
Like, man, sign me up.
Yeah, let's go.
What was the records?
Okay, so you Vic, you were 6-14. Mo was 6-14. I was 8-14.
Damn.
Hey, first week, like I said.
How are you 8-14? You picked 2 extra games?
No.
8-12, fam.
8-12? No. It was 14 total games.
So
6 out of 14.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. They ain't 20 games.
Dude, but you said 6-14. I'm thinking y'all.
Yeah, right.
14.
6 out of 14, nice, 6 out of 14, 8 out of 14.
Okay.
Hey, you gotta talk to us nice because that sounded like people was gonna run away from Monkey Knife Fights fucking with that type of record. I would have listened to any of y'all. 6-14. I'm like, man.
Right. So Germ is over 500. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, we're 6 and me and you are 6 and 8.
Right.
Germ is 8 and 6.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. 0-0. Let's get
it. All right, we're gonna have some fun because we're gonna do the pick'ems. I'm gonna keep track. Mo, me and you both will keep track of it.
Yeah.
I know. We always do. We have fun with this every year. This is so fun for us every year. So that's how we started. We'll count for us. We'll count from week 1 or whatever the case is, but then we'll count MJ after everything week 2 and beyond.
You'll figure all that out.
I ain't really worried about it. We just gonna have fun with this as we always do. So let's start at the top here as we get ready to come down through the schedule real quick, get you guys prepared for the games real quick. We're gonna start at the first game on the docket the Raiders versus the Steelers. This is one of my games I circled this week. This should be a good game. I want to see a good game, fellas. I want to see a good game. Kenyon Drake will be the starting running back. No Josh Jacobs. He's out for this game. That's going to be a big thing.
That's a C.
Hey,
on my squad. Hold on. Should I start him?
Hey, it might be fun to start him because he can do everything. Kenyon Drake is an all-around back, and he does fit this. Again, that's another Alabama running back that was not the most coveted guy. That is probably one of the most talented guys that ever play. And he didn't even play a lot of games, which is why Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs may be the guys that last the longest in the NFL because they didn't have those long careers of running the ball for Alabama. Shouts out to Damian Harris as well, because he didn't have that as well since he was with Mark Ingram. So with that being said, Mo, do your work and we will continue. We will go along and we will make our picks.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, like you said, this is definitely a game not one of the games of the week type of deal. The no Josh Jacobs thing is a big deal. Over under is 46.5 on this game, and the Steelers are 5.5 point favorites. I'm taking the under, and I'm staying away from the spread. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think without Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas is gonna struggle. They were gonna struggle with Josh Jacobs, but without him, they stand absolutely no chance in today's game. All we need is every week. All we need is the Steelers to play solid on offense. It's not about points for Steelers. We talked about this the other day in the lab in the director's cut. It's not about points for the Steelers. Okay, it's about moving the ball, getting the yards, getting the field position, and using that in your favor. Because eventually, when the fourth quarter comes, as long as that defense is not fatigued, they're gonna take over this game. There's no question about it. So I'm taking the Steelers. I'm taking them to win 19-10. So give me the under and give me the Steelers to cover 19-10 Pittsburgh.
Vic?
Yeah, man, there's a lot here. You know, I picked Las Vegas last week, but I can't this week. First and foremost, the Josh Jacobs situation. You know, we talked about Kenyon Drake. They need to get him involved in this passing game somehow, whether it's screens, flats, arrow routes out of the backfield, because, you know, apparently, you know, Gruden is talking up Peyton Barber this week. I don't know why he would do such a thing, but bro, if you like get that man shouldn't even be on a roster. All apologies to the player, but Kenyon Drake needs to get 20 touches today for Vegas. Last week, Darren Waller had 19 targets. Okay, the Steelers will do everything they can, especially with Minkah Fitzpatrick, to give Waller some issues. And if Derek Carr has to hold the ball longer with Alex Leatherwood, the way he played last week, blocking for him, TJ Watt should have a field day today. So I see the Steelers dominating. 10 points, like Mo picked, might be a little low, but I'm going with Pitt. I think I see 27-13 on this game. Sorry, 27-16.
One thing I want to add. Shout out to everybody in the comments section. April's in there, Tanya's in there, Matt's in there, a lot of Steelers fans in there. My prediction for this game, pick 6 by Carr, either by Bush or Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
MJ?
Pittsburgh 24, Las Vegas 20.
Give me Pittsburgh in this game, and I'm gonna give y'all a crazy score. Give me 31-16. Next game on the docket, we have the 49ers traveling to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Mo, do your work.
So over under in this game is 49 points. The San Francisco 49ers are 3-point favorites. The one thing that did come across my timeline this week, I got a notification on Twitter, 49ers or 3 reasons why 49ers will lose to Philly. Something Jimmy G is upset. I don't know what that means. Jimmy G's upset about what? His feelings are hurt about what exactly? He playing ball, and I think as long as Jimmy G is starting every week and playing like Jimmy G, I think the 49ers will keep Jimmy G throughout this season, no doubt about it. I don't even think it's going to be a question. That's just my humble opinion. Philly, I don't like Philly. I just don't like that team. I don't like what they've been doing. I don't like how they've been drafting. I don't like how they've been constructing their roster, or rather reconstructing their roster after the 2018 championship season. Sometimes people, man, they're very good in one thing, and they're going to get it done one way, and that one way is only going to work one time. Example, Howie and Doug. Example, John Gruden. But I'm going to leave it at that. Give me the San Francisco 49ers to win this game, because Kyle Shanahan don't do anything one way. So give me the 49ers, except not run the football in the Super Bowl. Give me the 49ers to win this game. I'm going to take the under. I think they do cover. So give me 49ers 27-23. So they just covered.
MJ.
San Francisco 35. Philadelphia 31.
Vic.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta take San Fran in this one. I think the Jimmy, whatever is happening over there, if there is anything, of course, the media pushes stuff. It's probably bringing in Trey Lance for certain plays. I don't like the fact that they brought him in for one play just to throw an out route for a touchdown. That's kind of messing with Jimmy's resume, because if he's gonna be looking for another team next season, he's gonna need the touchdown numbers to look good on his resume. So, if the kid was just gonna throw an out route, but they could have just left Jimmy in there. But anyway, that's their business. That's their problem. I just think that Philadelphia was kind of in over their heads last week. They played very well, but I think with the San Francisco defense putting some serious pressure on Jalen Hurts, we're gonna see if he can do the same thing. So I'm taking San Fran in this game. I don't have a score for this, bro. I don't do scores.
This is real easy for me, to be honest. I'm gonna go with the one thing that is consistent, and that is the good front seven. Their front seven is one of the better ones of football. They have the pass rushers to make this very, very interesting. Jalen is going to be running for his life majority of the day when it comes down to it. Give me the 49ers. Give me the 49ers 29-17.
Okay.
Next game on the docket, we got Cleveland versus Houston. I'm just going to make this real simple. Mo, I don't really care about what the over-under is. I'm just going to say Cleveland. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Over-under is 48. 13.5 points is the spread on this game. That's just too high for Cleveland right now. I mean, we do think this team is going to make the playoffs, possibly even win their division if they handle their business properly. Although after week one, that's looking a little bleak. I'm still going to roll with Cleveland, but I will take Houston to cover in this game. I'll take the over and Houston to cover, but give me Cleveland to win this ball game. Like I said, they got to shorten this game, so maybe I take the under. I don't know. You know what? Stay away from this one. Don't bet on this one. Now that I think out loud. Give me Cleveland to win. They got to shorten this game. They got to run the ball. They got to limit their possessions. They got to limit how much their defense is on the field, playing unnecessary snaps. Shout out to Tyrod Taylor. That's the only thing that I'll say positive about Houston all year.
MJ.
Houston 19. Cleveland 21.
Vic?
I like it.
I thought he was gonna pick Houston.
I had to flip it for y'all. I don't want y'all.
Last week I don't know. I guess I'm in the minority where I feel like Cleveland played a very good game. I think Baker had a good game. Of course, the running game did their thing. The defense played very well. It's just obvious that you have a championship winning team with a championship coach, championship quarterback that was able to close the game out.
Yes.
Cleveland needs to be better and learn how to close games, period.
Yes.
Baker needs to be better. I think there was just one throw that he he would ask to take back, and obviously it would be that interception to close the game. This got to be an easy matchup for them, even though Houston came out and won last week. Cleveland has to win games like this, and I think they do so in a convincing fashion.
Next game on the docket, we got the Broncos going to Duval County.
Duval County.
Go ahead, Mo. Do your work.
Man, listen. The NFL and college is not the same game. That goes for players and coaches. Okay. I think Trevor Lawrence needs an NFL coach. Urban Meyer, you don't have a very long span here to make us decide if you're an NFL coach or a college coach. You got to figure it out and figure it out quick. There's no reason that game last week should have went down the way it went down. My humble opinion, that's being outcoached and lack of preparation. Like I said, I think Trevor Lawrence played an excellent football game. Yes, I said excellent. If you know us, if you know the lab, you know interceptions are an overrated stat, big time, especially when it comes to younger quarterbacks. You want a gunslinger. You want a risk taker. I didn't see anything reckless from Trevor Lawrence. What I saw is a dude who believed in his ability, but not quite understanding the ability of his opponents, because his opponents are not guys that are selling insurance right now. They are professional ballers. And I think it's going to take him some time to adjust to that. With that said, Teddy Bridgewater has the experience. He has adjusted. He understands what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and how to utilize those strengths and stay away from those weaknesses. He has a beautiful touch to the football, not the greatest thrower, not the strongest thrower, but he has a beautiful touch, some very good anticipation, and I think he's playing in a place and a structure that's good for him. And I think there's some positive things happening with Denver so long as that defense stays healthy. So give me Denver to win this game. I'll go Denver 27-20.
I'll pick next, and then I'll go to the next person. Give me the Broncos simply because not just what Mo said, but I feel like this secondary is a very, very, very deep one, and they have a lot of talent in it. And I feel like this is one of those games where the secondary shows how good it really is against a young rookie quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. So give me the Broncos today. Vic, I'm going to go to you, then we'll close out with MJ right after.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much to talk about, even though this is a game that doesn't seem the most exciting of the week. Mo brought up some great points. Shout out to Von Miller first and foremost, man. This is a dude that, we thought that there's some regression there. 2020, he had an ankle injury, but he had 2 sacks last week. So if he could continue this season like that, that defense could take another step forward to how dominant they've been in terms of the pass rush. So against Jacksonville, they should be able to get a lot of pass rush, pressure. Jerry Jeudy's going to be out for a couple weeks, unfortunately, with a high ankle sprain. This is a kid that needs his ankles to be 100%. With the way his quick twitch movements are. So, hopefully he can get back. Like Mo talked about, Teddy Bridgewater, man, not the most talented guy, but his touch is incredible. His ability to he knows who he has on his football team and uses those guys very well. So I expect a big game from Cortland Sutton. Yes. Noah Fant as well. So I think Denver can start off, their season with going 2-0 against Jacksonville for sure.
MJ?
Here's the fantasy jewel for you. Last week, Houston had Mark Ingram run 22 times for 85 yards and a touchdown.
Wow.
Javonte Williams last week out-carried his counterpart, Melvin Gordon, even though he didn't outperform Melvin Gordon. Ooh. Javonte Williams is going to have a top 5 running back performance this week.
Okay. Ooh.
Denver 26, Jacksonville 16.
I like the energy.
Next game on the docket. Saints versus the Panthers. The Jameis Winston versus the
trap.
The damn trap.
the Jameis Winston versus the Sam Darnold Bowl. Yes, I said bowl because I'm still not putting that much into Sam Darnold after this game. All right, Mo, go ahead.
What you want from me?
I don't trust this at all.
What you want from me, Jerm? What you want me to do here, Jerm? Pass, okay?
I don't like nothing about this game.
Listen, over under is 45. The Saints are the 3-point favorites. Okay, I don't know what the hell to tell you. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting to see, right? One thing that's going to be interesting to see is Sam Darnold really improved, or was last week just I want to do what I can to beat this damn football team called the New York Slaw Jets, Spirit Airlines. Shout out to you. Not really. For Carolina, it's going to be about Sam Darnold. Has he really improved? Is he really in a healthier space? Is he really becoming the quarterback that I believe he could turn into on the next level? We're gonna find out today. I think Jameis last week was not a fluke. The 34-3, okay, whatever. You throw that out the window. I'm talking about his performance. I'm talking about his ability to do all the things the right way. I do not think that was a coincidence. If I was a narrative-driven guy, I'd be sitting here telling you that Drew Brees is a system quarterback. But I ain't that dumb. I think Jameis is just in a good place with good weapons. I'm going with New Orleans simply because they are a better football team. And if, like New Orleans, we weren't really counting on being anything. But if Jameis has really figured it out, New Orleans is going to be something now. And this division all of a sudden looks a lot more interesting. So, but give me New Orleans. I want to see a good game from Sam Darnold. I want to see a good game from this Carolina young defense that's still growing. Give me New Orleans 24-21. So, in other words, don't bet on this game.
Don't bet on it. So, I'll get us to Vic after this. Marquez Callaway had an extremely pedestrian week last week, which pretty much cost me a victory in my first week. But it's okay. First 4 weeks, I'm only trying to win 2 games, even one. I got to learn my team. It's okay. But I do think this week Marquez Callaway has a big game, mainly because even though I'm not comparing him to Corey Davis, I'm comparing relationships and I'm comparing as far as defense goes. There's certain things Carolina struggled in the passing game, especially in the hurry up. Jameis Winston has all of the talent and the ability and the leadership qualities to run that style of play. With that being said, I got New Orleans winning, but I think this game is way closer than what it should be because that's how divisional games work. I have no score for this. I don't. Right. There is no score. They win. How about that?
Yeah. No, and not only divisional games, MJ, but Carolina is looking strong. Like that defense, Mo talks about how young and talented that defense is. This can be a very defensive game. The Saints were very smothering against the Packers last week. Whether we can debate whether Rodgers wanted to play last week or not, they were excellent. The offense was efficient. So this one is probably the toughest game to pick. I'm gonna go with the Saints simply because Sean Payton and Jameis, I think just a better head coach quarterback combination for this week. But we'll see what Sam Darnold brings to this game. It's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be consistency from last week. But I'm going Saints.
Oh, when the Saints come marching in. Oh, when the Saints come marching in. I want to be Sam Darnold. Because when the Saints come marching in. Give me the
Crab
Saints.
Legs.
Eat the W, man. Eat that W, man. All right, so with that being said, we got the Rams and the Colts next. This is another game that I circled. Mo, let's talk about this game. This needs a little all 22 view.
Which game is that?
We got the Rams versus the Colts.
Oh, man. Well, unfortunately, the all 22 is not available, and I will be writing my email to the NFL shortly. But let me tell you something, man. Over under in this game, for real quick, let's get that out of the way. 47.5 points. The Rams, 4-point favorites. I'm not worried about any of that in week 2 in this matchup, okay? Number one thing is, for the Rams, let's keep building. Yes, I said let's keep building. Okay, I think the Rams do so many good things on both sides of the football, and I think Indy is the perfect week 2 opponent. Why do I say that? Because Indy is a team loaded with talent that's not quite a football team yet. What I mean by that is everybody here is, especially with Carson Wentz being there now, like once you put in a new quarterback, everything changes. You could bring in a new wide receiver. Hell, you could take out everybody, but keep the quarterback in the offensive line, and the offense the next year is not going to need to build on so many different things. But when you bring in a different quarterback, the whole thing changes. So I think for Indy, they're still a team trying to figure it out, where the Rams, very much like the Buccaneers, are a team that's already figured it out. They know who they are. They found out who they were last year. You know what they found out? Damn, we need a better quarterback. They have that. So I think this is going to be one of those games where it's a perfect, week 2 game. It's not a benchmark by any means for either team, but at least for the Rams, they got a quality opponent that's not quite ready yet in week 2. So give me the Rams to win this game. I am taking the over. They're going to put up points most weeks, and they're going to do some good things defensively, turn the ball over, sacks, flip the field. They might give up some points, but that defense at the end of the day, whatever metric there is, I don't need no analytics to tell you that the defense at the end of the day is going to have a positive impact every week for this football team. So give me the Rams to win this game. I think they cruise through this game. Give me the Rams 33-23.
This is the second West Coast team that's traveling east, and I'm not worried about it. Usually that will play a part, but San Francisco and the Rams are just so solidified in what they do and their business approach to approaching the game. I can't look at those little small nuances the same.
Facts.
So I will need you guys to help me out before I make this pick with the question. Does the Indianapolis Colts still frequently run in Tampa too? Because I know it's new coaching, so they probably still.
So,
I can't answer that because again,
we don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't have enough information,
and the all 22 ain't available yet. I don't know
that's their base defense.
If that's their base defense, Matthew Stafford is going to pick this shit apart.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. So yeah, I got Rams 41, Colts 20.
Damn.
It's one of those situations where the Rams have the perfect players to combat what you do in any zone. Cooper Kupp is extremely smart. So is Robert Woods. And then you add Van Jefferson with Deshaun Jackson, who comes over the top and takes the safety help over the top. It just leaves big voids and holes in the secondary. And that's just what this team has. They have a bunch of those type of guys. So moving forward, the Rams are a team that you have to be able to play man coverage against. The Rams are in that Tom Brady Patriots cover one match situation where you have to play that against them and be able to be effective with it. That's where they are. No, zone will not help you against this team at this stage with the quarterback that they have. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're looking at it, you got the Rams going to Indianapolis. Last week, Indianapolis had Seattle, so they're going through their tough part of the schedule, facing 2 NFC West teams. That's a division that we talked about how dominant they can be. So, I mean, Indianapolis, man, I see 0-2 as well. I think the Rams take this. Just Stafford and Sean McVay offense. I mean, he's got the quarterback that he can execute everything that he needs, whether it's short, medium, and deep ball passes. Matthew Stafford is looking good so far. And the Colts is struggling with that secondary. So they signed Andrew Sendejo this week, but I don't know if that's going to help them. So I'm taking the Rams.
He was out there like Buffalo chicken when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Bills versus the Dolphins, another game that was circled. Why this game is circled is because this is another great division game. Mo, take it away.
Definitely a trap game here. Over under is 48 points. The Bills are getting 3.5 points. In my humble opinion, these division games with these 3.5 point lines, that's Vegas telling you play at your own risk, and you are not going to sue us because we are not liable for your life choices. This is going to be an interesting game, man. At the end of the day, though, Germ, even though it is a trap game, I just think Buffalo's the better team. I'm not buying into the Miami hype, into like thinking they're going to beat the Bills, but they might beat the Bills. Give me Miami 19-18. I know.
No, I was going to pick Miami, but I'm tired of picking everybody you pick, so I'm going to pick the Bills just off of that principle.
Okay.
So at some point, somebody got to disagree. I'll be the first one. I'll disagree. Right. Give me Buffalo. For no reason other than I'm
taking the Bills because one reason only. I just think the Bills have the better quarterback.
They so one-dimensional though, bro. Like
that's the problem, man. Is that again? they can pass block. The offensive line it's a great pass blocking offensive line. They give Josh some time, but they still give up 3 sacks. It is the Steelers' defense last week. but they cannot run the ball for nothing. Okay, not only they can't run block, but even the running backs are sketchy. Zach Moss was a healthy scratch last week, which is shocking for me. He is expected to play this week, but they need to find a way. And I've been saying it since last year, even before the playoff run. They need to find a way to get Josh some help with the run game, and they still have yet to do that. I'm gonna go with Miami. As tough as a pick this is, I love Josh. I love the Bills. I just think Miami has a strong enough defense to kind of contain them. And like I said, I think Josh, pitches less than 295 yards this week. I think the only guy you take honestly out of that offense is Stephon Diggs.
Is that another Dolphin?
Now I got to disagree with German. I'm okay now. Okay, keep going. I just got one more person to disagree with.
So we're going Dolphins, right, Vic?
I'm going Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, two Dolphins, two Bills. This is this is where the house divides.
All right. So now we got the Patriots versus the Jets. Oh man, the two quarterbacks on the Views from the 22 board, number 1 and number 2. The Views Bowl is what we're gonna call this.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. The
all 22 bowl. Let's go.
I can take it. Listen, over under is 43. The Patriots are actually 5.5 point favorites. I think this is really simple. The Jets, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for Robert Saleh to figure out how to put together a winning program. It's going to take a time for Zach Wilson to figure out how to win football games and make smart decisions for 60 minutes in this game. And I think the Patriots are just a better football team. And at the end of the day, Bill Belichick is not going to lose to these guys. Not this way. He's got Mac Jones that's going to keep him out of crappy situations, unlike Cam Newton, who would constantly be putting that defense out there because that offense was either booming or busting. And so give me the Patriots to win this game. It's not going to be the most exciting game. It's not going to be a fantasy-filled game, but I am going to take New England to win this game 20-16. So you know what? Take the Jets to cover.
Okay.
This is the new Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
Damn, son. I hope so. Because it'll be good for football.
I hope it's better.
That'd be great. They'd be great.
I hope it's better because I hope they have a career where they split and they go like 20 and 20.
That's a great point right there. Because if it's one dominating the other, which most likely it might be Mac Jones, that's a great point. It would be great if they just beat each other up year in and year out.
They're in the same division.
But let me explain the details of it. Why it's going to go like Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning. Tom Brady, started off when he needed it. He had more to be able to protect himself as he was learning through his growth process, whereas Peyton was just in the fire.
Yeah,
right. Peyton got through to the wolves,
and
eventually he figured it out by fire. I think Zach Wilson, he got through into a gauntlet early with Carolina, but that fourth quarter, he started to figure it out. It slowed down just enough for him to be able to get 2 touchdowns and build a rapport with Corey Davis. I think New England is too smart.
MJ's preaching today, dog.
Hey, New England is too smart to let this team beat them. But let's not get it twisted. Zach is going to be dealing. Zach knows what's on. He knows what's on this. He wants to show that he's the best quarterback out of this draft. This is the first person he's seeing. So he's going to deal. And with New England don't blitz that much. So if you're not going to blitz Zach Wilson, he'll find people. But I don't know if he's going to find the end zone because New England's bend don't break defense. They do the best than everybody. They do it better than anybody. So it's going to be a lot of field goals. He ain't going to finish a lot of plays. He probably going to make a couple of mistakes with a fumble or a couple of interceptions. And that's going to determine the game. New England wins.
Yeah, that's
so tough.
Like I picked the Patriots, and Big Shot's comment is a big reason why on Belichick is hell on rookie quarterbacks historically. I'm not a fan of that stat, but he is unless it's a Lamar Jackson or a Colin Kaepernick or somebody like different. Bill is gonna not lose to a rookie quarterback, and especially somebody where you know Bill. I guarantee you, Bill knows every throw this quarterback can and cannot make at this stage of his career, and he's going to make him throw every one that he can't make all game long.
Pick who you picking.
Yeah, bro. I mean, this is a tough one for me too. I think it'll be close. The thing is that last week the Patriots had some, turnovers that are not typical of a New England team, some fumbles and stuff like that. I think they cleaned that up. Carolina was able to sack Zach 6 times last week. So that was partly with, how, inconsistent his game was in terms of how good he was in the beginning. And then he got better towards the end. 6 sacks and then 10 pressures, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think New England still cannot provide that, especially with Mekhi Becton, who will be out for an indefinite amount of time right now with a dislocated kneecap. I'm going to go New England simply because, again, I think they don't turn over the ball like they did last week. And I think that even though they're not as talented as the Carolina front seven, I think that Bill is going to be able to scheme some pressure on Zach.
Also, Zach is going to get introduced to Stephen Gilmore in a bad way.
Is he
I think
playing?
Steven is out. No, he's out for 6 weeks.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
He's going to get introduced. Here's the thing with New England. They always have another cornerback that come out of fucking nowhere.
J.C.
So
Jackson.
the next dude up, he's going to be the one that he get introduced.
No, it's gonna be a fun matchup. We're gonna see J.C. Jackson on Corey Davis a lot. I think Corey will still get some good numbers today, but is it gonna be enough to beat the Patriots? And I just don't see it. I see New England, getting their first win this week.
Pick the Jets, Jerm. You want to pick them? Pick the
Zach
Jets.
Wilson
Jerm.
is different.
Pick him.
He's different. I'm picking Zach, bro.
Oh,
Let's go.
I disagree with all of you now. I feel great.
Jets. Let's go. Son. Hey, listen. You said they say Bill is hell on rookie quarterbacks, but you also see a lot of open receivers with those said rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing about this. Zach won't be as confused as some of the other guys, I don't believe. I believe the Jets can pull off an upset. New England starts 0-2, and this gives us an opportunity to get the intrigue build up for Bill as he goes into week 4, probably 1-2 against his former quarterback. Now, we got 6 minutes here. We want to get everybody out here to 6 minutes. So we're going to go rapid fire, hurry up offense. Kick my leg up. Hike. All right, let's go. 53 is the mic. Let's go. Bears versus the Bengals. Really simple. We don't even need the over-under on this one for particularly, but we'll let you do it, Mo. I'm going to make it real easy. The Bears should win this game simply because they have the front seven to dominate the pocket, the line of scrimmage. LOS, line of scrimmage. If you can dominate the LOS, you will win the GAME. And that's just how this is going to all be.
Well, if they start ANDY, they're going to catch an L. So give me Bengals.
Give you who you taking? The Bengals?
The Bengals.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I ain't even going to try and top what you just said, MJ. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears. I think they're going to do some things, like I said earlier, to confuse Joe Burrow. Give me the Bears 24-20. Yeah, I can't. You can't even top that. I ain't even going to try.
Yeah. Nah, so what we talk about, Jerm, receivers got to catch the football to make it in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, apparently everybody was getting scared that Jamar couldn't catch the ball in preseason, but all of a sudden he showed everybody that he can actually do what his job description says he needs to do, and he did that very well. And I think that the Bengals will do enough to win this football game. I think they'll mix in Joe Mixon again, and get Jamar Chase. And I think Tyler Boyd has a big game this week. Let me get the Bengals on this one.
Bucks going to go up against the Falcons.
Low key trap. I ain't gonna yell it. It's a low key trap. I'm gonna whisper.
Oh no, it's not even. This ain't a trap. This is barbecue chicken. With that being said, give me the Bucks.
You just saw Trav, so how am I gonna not pick the Bucks? Trav just popped up as soon as you heard the Bucks. He popped up and left Skeletor on the screen. So yes, Bucks for that reason.
Yeah, are we all going Bucks here?
Yeah,
Bucks to cover it. 13.5 points. They're gonna win that. Bucks about 17.
All right, next game. Next game is actually Cardinals versus the Vikings. Give me the Cardinals.
Can I make my pick real quick?
Go ahead. Oh no, I thought I said are we all picking the Bucks?
Yeah. I took Bucks. My bad.
Oh, dang. Cardinals, Vikings. I'm going to Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a surprise team in the NFL this year, and I think the Cardinals need to win this game again to keep pace with the rest of that division, because that's where their losses are probably going to be at more than likely is in the division. Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This game, I flipped a coin. It came heads. I'm going Arizona.
Big.
MJ, you good? Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. Like we talked about, Minnesota is the tease of the NFL. Last week they should have been able to. Against, I talked about it. They should have been able to beat a young football team in Cincinnati. They could not do that. I'm gonna pick the Cardinals, even though the Cardinals can be inconsistent as well. But I'll take the Cardinals in this game. I just think that they have too much. They showed too much last week to fall off the face of the earth and lose this game.
Shootout.
All
Whoever
right.
gets the ball. Shootout. Whoever gets the ball last wins.
I like
Minnesota
it.
will have the ball last. Give me Minnesota.
I like it.
Titans versus
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, over under 53.5. Seahawks are 6-point favorites. Give me Seattle 31-20.
Give me Seattle as well.
Give me the 2021 MVP and Seattle as well.
I like it, Vic. I take it, Vic.
He just gotta end the season the same way he starts the season. That's all. Give him that award.
I'll take it, Vic. 2 minutes, fellas. 2 minutes till kickoff.
All right, MJ, who you got?
Well,
He took Seattle.
Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Germ, listen, I got the NFL pregame show on in the background just so I could, like, any breaking news, anything is on mute anything that's mainstream is on mute for me. But Jerry Jones is there. Jerry Jones is in the studio. Jerry Jones is talking to the fans and shaking hands. Jerry told, per Chris Broussard's sources, Jerry told Roger Goodell, look, I'm going to give you the Rams to open the stadium. But if anybody other than my Cowboys plays in that second game in that stadium, I'm shutting the whole thing down. I don't care if we play the New York Jets in week 2. We playing in that stadium in week 2 because obviously Jerry was a big part of the Rams moving to LA and that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stadium being built. Regardless, Jerry, get a great seat to an L. Give me the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers too.
How about them Cowboys?
I like it, MJ. MJ.
You know what? Yeah, let me get the Cowboys too, just because you and Mo and Germ picked Chargers. Hey, this is a game I hadn't picked yet, bro. This is a tough matchup. This should be a fight. It should be fun to watch. But definitely let me get Dallas.
Chiefs Ravens.
Chiefs.
Chief. Keep going. Yeah, you know what that is. I mean, no offense to the Ravens. Chiefs.
KC.
All right, Chief.
Yeah.
Well, it's enough Chiefs in here.
Hey.
And not enough Indians.
Hey.
That's always been our problem.
If the Ravens win, though.
That's okay.
Oh, man, if the Ravens win.
Between week 1 and 4, here is my disclaimer. Between week 1 and 4, take what I say with a grain of salt, because I really don't know.
Oh, hey.
You was in the lab today, though.
No, I wasn't.
You was preaching today.
I was preaching, but I wasn't in the lab. That's just what I see off of what y'all talked about.
All right.
I wasn't in no lab.
Trav, show your face before we get out of here, man.
No
Trav.
lab. It's only been 1 week. I can't laugh that.
Trav hiding in the background.
Yo,
I just put his face on when he.
It's gonna be a great week of football, man. It's gonna be a great week of football. I hope everybody enjoys it. You got the players now. You see them taking the field. You see them throwing the ball around. It's 4 minutes to kick off, baby. How you feeling today, Trav?
Feeling good. I hope everybody
man.
Getting on this Monkey Night Fight, man. Put the code in, man. We show how to do it, man. Make it work for you, man. It's a lot of money out here, man. And enjoy this week.
Invest that money too. Get that money and then invest it too.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. Goods. Relax. Sheesh.
I'm saying 5 forms of income.
7 streams. 7
My
streams
fault.
of income. Here, I just knew it was coming. As soon as he said invest. Oh.
This show
All
has
right,
gotten out
fellas.
of control.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Wrap it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
man. Let's go.
So with that
Go
being
watch some
said,
Yeah, take us
football. I'll
home,
go to the
True.
beach.
with
Take us
that being
home, True.
said, man,
Beach.
make sure you guys enjoy the week of
Man.
football. We got crazy games this week. Of course, we'll be at you guys next week. Be on the lookout because we're going to be bringing more college football stuff to you as well as we move along and progress as well during the season. The scouter reports, we actually may do full scouter reports this year just to show y'all just how good we are at this whole scouting thing and getting these players together and getting them right. So with that being said, from the Views crew, the scene represented Views crew that is, we got Mo Schefter, we got
Yes, sir.
Trav, we got MJ, we got Vic, and we got Mr. Germ So True. We see you next time.
Amen,
22.
baby. Enjoy the games.
Namaste.
7 streams of income.